Welcome back everybody to a brand new video. Today, as you can see, I've got almost 50 ties behind me. I also have a lot more here to my side, all of which I'm going to be going through today as part of a tie collection video. Nobody's asked for this, but I thought I would have a lot of fun making it, kind of telling the story that there is behind a few of these ties. So yeah, please sit back, relax. I feel like this one's going to be a bit of a longer video, so get prepared, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So, good thing this one fell, because I wanted to save this one till last, but I might as well start with this one. So this is a tie from a brand named Giant Panda. As you can see, it's very red with some kind of bamboo plants and a lot of the gold squiggles. Also some kind of Chinese emblem here. And you might ask how I know it's Chinese. I know it's Chinese because my father was in China as part of a travelling experience, and he gave this to his father, my granddad, who is unfortunately passed away now, but he gave him this as a present. But ever since he's passed away, we've got it back. I really like the story behind this, as you can see here. Let's try to focus on that label, if that will let us. Maybe it won't let us focus, but it says Giant Panda, 100% pure Chinese silk. So definitely a nice quality tie, and also just looks wise. I think that really stands out. A lot of these ties are very boring. I'm going to skip through a lot of them, but the ones I think are a bit more special, I'm going to be spending a bit more time on. But I'll definitely show everyone. So next, we've got, I'm going to go through this rack and then the ones behind me. Let's start off next with this red one here. The amount of times I've worn this is 0. Usually I don't really like red ties that much, and this one I don't really wear that much. I feel like it's quite a loud tie, so not really so much my kind of tie, but I'm trying to wear every single tie at least once in my life, I guess, whether that's to a funeral or to a meeting or somewhere. I'm going to try and wear every tie you see at least once. The next one we have could be classed as a funeral tie. This one is very dark in colour but has a few purple areas. It's by Marks and Spencer, so really not that special, but this one would be used a bit more for a funeral kind of a setting. Up next we have actually another one that might be used for a funeral, but this one's a bit more stripy. It's these dark ties that I think are quite stylish, but this is more blue than black, so maybe not for a funeral. That one's by Zara. Up next we have, somehow this tie reminds me a lot of my childhood. I've never worn this one. It's by Ralph Carter. If anyone knows that brand, a lot of these brands I've never heard of. Because I think they're all like gifts. Like, I'm pretty sure 80% of these would have been gifts to my father or his father, on either side of my family, so don't assume that I've gone out and bought all of these for like the sake of having them. But this reminds me of my childhood, because I think this used to be my dad's most worn favourite tie. So yeah. Up next, as you can see, these less meaningful ones to me personally, I'm going to skip through quite quickly. This one is machine washable, so thanks for that. I think I've worn this one once, to be fair. It's kind of like a green with blue, white stripes. Quite a nice one, but again, nothing really that stands out. I mean, it's nice to have a lot of variety, but at the end of the day, just not that nice, not overly nice. This one is reminding me of a frog. This has got kind of like a frog pattern with white and green. This is by the band Strelson, designed in Switzerland, so very likely to be a gift from my mother's sister, who lives in Switzerland currently. But there we go. This one I've worn 0 times, as I'm sure you could guess by the way I talk about it. This last one on this row, again I've worn 0 times. Somehow I feel like the colours on this are a bit, they kind of blend in a little bit, not really that special. Unbranded, but yeah, let me know if you've got a favourite tie that you see in the video. Very interestingly, actually, I was wondering if anybody had any replica of 2 ties. Obviously they do, but like, if 2 people have met each other wearing the same tie, it's probably bound to have happened. This next one, very, very generic. I mean, it even says 2-part set on the label, so I mean navy with blue with white dots. I mean, if you could ever imagine a less unique tie, let me know. This next one, I've got to say, I actually really like. I've worn this one I think maybe 3 times, which compared to some of these is quite a lot. This one's kind of beige with blue dots, but from far kind of just looks one colour. You can see that I think it's quite nice. I'm wearing a shirt actually, not to try the ties on obviously, but that's kind of what you're meant to wear a tie with, so yeah, but I think that's quite a nice tie. I like this one. I don't know why I smelt it. This next one I was going to wear once, but I couldn't bring myself to do it yet because this is just, I'm sorry, this is low-key ugly. Like a yellow tie with blue squares. Never worn this one. Pure silk though, which is nice, but obviously I'll wear it at some point, but for now I'm not going to wear this one. This next one I really like, to be fair. I think there might be a theme with the ones I do and don't like, but I haven't worked it out yet. This is by Pierre Cardin, French brand I presume. I don't think it's very special, but kind of a pink, the white and black stripes. Goes nice with like a navy blue suit. I like that one. This next one, again, really nothing to it. Got like a blue base with red, almost like teardrops. Kind of an interesting label. Let me show you this label. You don't usually see labels in that colour, but this tie, I haven't ever gone through all the ties like this in this much detail, so somehow I'm discovering these with you. This one, not that nice, I'm not gonna lie. Pure silk. I mean, the thing is, I say some of these ties are ugly, but what does a tie really matter? I mean, ties are meant to be had a little bit of fun with, you know. So when I say it's ugly, it's more just, it doesn't appeal to me straight away. When I see a tie, I'd rather it appeals to me, you know, and this one just doesn't really appeal. I think it's the horizontal lines on this one. But pure silk, good quality. I mean, honestly, gotta apologise, I'm trying to rattle through the ones that are just generic navy blue. This one, bit more interesting. The problem is, I kind of, in a way, if I were to wear a tie, I'd want to wear a special one, and just wasting nice, like, tie day on a tie that I don't like that much feels quite sad. So yeah, this one's quite nice, I guess, but again, doesn't really stand out to me that quickly. This next one is the one that I kept thinking about for a funeral. This one I've worn a total of 2 times for my grandmother's and my grandfather's funeral. Just the plain black tie. Obviously, that's the kind of a tie for a funeral. Next we have a tie that reminds me, personally, kind of a picnic blanket. Anyone else get that sense? Kind of blue and red. It's actually quite nice now that I look at it like this. What do you guys think of that? Leave below in the comments any timestamps of the ties you hate or love. I wouldn't be offended. Most of these aren't even mine, so yeah. Another one. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really know that we even had some of these, because they're just never been worn by me. Obviously, all of these will have been worn by my father, or my brother actually, but me personally, not so much. Bit of a blue one, quite nice, but in the light it looks nice. Trust me, when we get up here, that's when the real good ones started to come in. I really tried to get my favourite ones in the top, save them till last. This next one is quite nice, to be fair. Much more interesting, like flowers. I quite like this. Problem is it's so thin at the base. I don't really like when it's so thin. Like, it's almost as thin as the but still. Actually, I haven't worn this one yet, so maybe I'll wear that one at one point. Up next we got another funeral tie. I might have worn this one to the funerals, not the other one. Anyway, now we've got the last 2. We've finished the rack, and we've got the last 2 ties before we move up there. These were the ones in the thumbnail, so you would have definitely seen these ones before. This one I actually do like. My grandmother gave this to my father as a Christmas present one year. It's from Dupe. Don't really know that brand, but yeah. The only problem I have with this doesn't really sit on the collar right. Like, I always find it goes a bit loose on the collar, so unfortunately it's not that comfortable to wear. And so I've only worn it twice, but it's a nice tie. This next one I definitely like. I feel like I quite like the diagonal stripy ones. I think I've said that quite a lot on these. On this one maybe 3-4 times, but definitely like that one. Anyway, now we're moving on. Let's start over here. Obviously, some of these aren't going to be as amazing as the others in the list, like this one. Nice, but not like that special, especially the sentimental value. Somehow on a lot of these I feel like sentimental value kind of decides whether I really like or don't really like a tie. So for example this one, not only do I like the pattern quite a lot, it's like a nice pink, I think they call this paisley tie. My brother got me this. My brother got it for me, which was very nice of him. I think he got it before he left to university to kind of like just say bye, I guess. But I haven't worn this one in a while, to be fair. I wore it quite a lot in the first period of when I got it. But I haven't worn it in a while. I feel like it's quite very loud, obviously. Very loud tie. And yeah. This next one, it's got to be the most interesting tie. This is Bugs Bunny on a tie. Actually, very nice tie. I think you can even see little carrots in there. The colour pattern is by Looney Tunes, so it's by the official creators of Bugs Bunny, I guess. Yeah. So, Bugs Bunny. Maybe I'll wear that on next time I wear a suit, because that's quite a funny tie, I think. Now this one, my mother. I actually wanted to wear this a couple of months ago. Whenever I wear a tie, I'm like, does this look good? And she's like, she always likes to be honest. So I was like, does this one look good? And she's like, for some reason she doesn't really like the gold one so much. Even though it's the one that my mother and my father got married in. She just said she doesn't really like it much, so I guess didn't stop me from wearing it though. I even wore this one in a video once, in the video titled ASMR in the Baldacchino Supreme bed. I wore that tie to kind of enforce the luxury. This next one, a bit boring. Again, thin. I don't really like the thin ties that much. But, I mean, nice colour. Purple. Wow, this next one is special. I really like the colour. I mean, the pattern and the colour on this one. I even got to say that I wore this one the first out of any of my ties. And it's like a paisley, whitish. I have a problem that a lot of ties blend into the shirt, especially if you're wearing a white shirt, if they're kind of light ties, but that one surprisingly doesn't blend in, which I was kind of worried that it would, but it's good that it doesn't. Anyway, next, where did I get this one? Can't even remember, but it feels very nice. It's definitely silk. Kind of like a red with blue dots. Very nice tie, to be fair. Nice shiny, see that shine? Might wear this at some point. Wow, this next one is the first of a saga, because I got these from my grandfather, my other grandfather, who still lives, and whilst I visited him. This is like loads of flowers. My least favourite of the ones that he gave me. Don't dislike it, so to say, but I don't know, somehow I feel like it's a bit loud, maybe a bit kind of a bit out there, but I'd like to see it on someone else, for sure. This next one. Well. I think we might have just come across my favourite tie of them all. Also from my grandfather. Look at the colours on that. a rich navy blue with the gold yellow stripes. I do really like this tie. Also from my grandfather. It's very, very valid. Very valid to tie. Another one from my grandfather. This is red with white and blue spots. Worn this one once. Nice, but like I say, the red is quite loud, so I don't know about wearing it a lot, but definitely wear it again at some point. Because it just fell. Let's talk about this one next. So this one, I really have no idea about this one. As I was actually putting it up, I thought to myself, it's a nice tie. Bit of gold there in between the blue. The paperclip there with some numbers, but it looks like my grandfather's handwriting, so maybe it's from him. But worn maybe once. Not really that much at all. Let's talk about this one next. This one's been playing with the camera a bit. Yeah. This one's like an optical illusion almost because of how tight the lines are, but although it's kind of pink and black up close, far back, this looks pink with a bit of optical illusion. I actually really like this one. Goes nicely with the navy blue suit. I really like the texture of this. So yeah, definitely worn this, but no kind of special backstory to that one. Next, I think this one wants to get picked. I actually wore this one recently, and the first time my dad said to me, as I was wearing this one, he was like, this one doesn't go so good with the blue suit you're wearing, does it? And I was like, well, I think it's okay. But I mean, fairs, honestly. Purple, the grey, the black. I think it's a very nice tie, but I kind of see what he means. Maybe I should think more about the colour of the suit that I'm wearing. I'd never wear like a blue suit with a blue tie, like matching, because I feel like they're meant to complement each other, not match. So, but maybe this one just didn't complement that much. I think it's a very nice tie though, nonetheless. So definitely wear this one again when it's kind of a filler day. Next one. Oh, if this one falls, I guess you got to give it to him. This one is again from my German grandfather. It's from Thesaurochrysonicochrysidès from KDW Berlin. KDW is KDW, I don't know what that means. KDW, KDW. Like a blue navy tie. Yellow blue navy. I actually really like this one, but again, very quite loud. But I definitely wear this one kind of summer. You can definitely kind of see the seasons in these different ties. How some of them are kind of much more summery. Anyway, this one was the one I wanted. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was given to my father by my grandmother. Unfortunately, I just don't really like it that much. I think the orange and the blue aren't really that nice, and I don't know, I think I've never worn this one, but obviously I've got to at some point. Just low key, I don't know, I don't really like the patterns that much either. I think especially from afar it just kind of looks like blue-orange mess, so it's a shame. This next one was sitting in my dad's wardrobe one morning and I found it and I was like, no way, this is sick. Again, machine washable, but yeah, again, it's just like a green, kind of like a circle tie. I always find it interesting, like the patterns they have. But I mean, again, just, it's not harmful, not harming anyone. Most of these, you'll notice, don't really have a story. I like to tell the ones at the story. That's the one that I told right at the start about the my granddad getting it as a gift from China, but it already fell. Next, this I actually really like. Again with the paisley dark blue, look at that shine as well. Unfortunately has suffered some wear and tear down here, but nice tie nonetheless, very nice. Actually underrated. I think I've worn that one like twice. Moving on, this one again from my German grandfather, not yet worn though. This is like a purple bluey. It's kind of weird how all the colours mix, but obviously up close you can tell the different colours. It's Italian silk, this one. Very cool. It's funny how the camera changes like the colours depending on which tie you're showing. So you can see my skin looks a bit more yellow after I've shown that. It's quite interesting. Looks a lot more cold now. If you're wondering where I'm throwing all the ties, I'll show at the end the massive pile I'm making. Next is another thin one. You know how I don't like the thin ones. But block colour. Block colour. At the start of my tie wearing journey, I really wanted block colour ties. But now I just find them a little bit boring, to be honest. And when I say block colour, I mean literally block colour, like no texture, no pattern. Not like this. My brother got this one for himself, but he doesn't really wear ties that much anymore. Look at that, look how it kind of merges the blue. There's like an orange blue flowery one. This one, I was once in a shop and the person working there, they said to me, it's a very nice tie you've got. I was like, okay, thank you very much for saying that. So that's why I remember that one. Next, save the good one for last. I really like this one, to be fair. The only grey tie we have, it looks a bit like sheep. Also reminds me of my childhood though, because I remember looking at this one and I thought it's kind of like sheep, kind of like two circles, but my only grey tie. So I quite like that one. Next, this one. This one is nice. I like the pattern. Just feels a bit thin though, in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of pink with blue squares, but like feel-wise, you want a tie to feel good, you know? It just kind of gives the impression that it's maybe quite thin and easy to tear. Kind of makes me a bit uncomfortable. Next one, I really like this tie. This is kind of a, I think paisley again. Blue, red, blue. It's like flowery pattern, but not really. I do really like this one. Again, thin, but not too thin. And sits nicely on the collar as well. So, I rate this one. Maybe worn like 5-6 times. And in the grand scheme of things, that's a lot. Second to last tie. This one, on the first time I wore it, got spoken about a lot because I always thought it looked a bit like mould or like a colony, a mushroom or like fungi colony. I have no idea. It's like blue, green, bit of darkness in between there. I think it's nice though. What do you guys think? Anyway, saving the best till last. You may have noticed that when the cut was there, I actually went down to get this tie because I remembered in a split second that I missed this one out. So I went downstairs, I got it and brought it up. So let's bring it down, shall we? This tie, again, was part of the batch that my German grandfather gave us. Silk, so you already know it feels nice, and it is like rings in picture frames or something. There we go. That is a nice tie. The only thing I do have to say is that low-key, from afar, I feel like the pattern just becomes a bit hard to see, but I don't know, I really like this one. From a brand called Celine Paris. I was told, now obviously I have never bought a tie for myself, again this came from my grandfather, but I was told that Celine Paris is a expensive brand, so who knows how much this tie is worth in the grand scheme of things. But I really like this tie. Very special, I think, especially because it came from my grandfather. And you might have heard like earlier when I was talking about how I don't really care about the ones that don't really have a story or context or a journey, I guess, like the others do, but the ones from my grandfather, from my brother, I like a lot more. Anyway, that does bring me to the end of the video. I don't have anything more to share. Let me show you the mess that I've made. So this is where I've been throwing my ties, on the floor there, on here. It's such a mess. I'm going to try and get them all back into there, but anyway, that is definitely long enough. I want to give a shout out to this mechanism, these strings that I attached to the ceiling to hold up all the ties. If you want to see the behind the scenes of how I did that on the members video, you'll be seeing that process. It took a very long time, it took like half an hour to work it all out. To become a member, first link in the description. I want to say also, if you're still watching at this point in the video, let me know by commenting the tie emoji, obviously, or the suit emoji, the suit and tie, something with the tie, I'm sure there's one. Anyway, this video is long enough. Thank you so much for watching. I will obviously see you guys next time.